Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle and thank you for joining me here. So, today we have factual evidence that Google is literally skewing information so that the viewer's interpretation of data on the internet shown will align with Google's ideology. So, we have this article from projectveritas.com detailing this. So, insider blows whistle and executive reveals Google plan to prevent Trump situation in 2020 on hidden camera. Insider, Google is bent on never letting somebody like Donald Trump come to power again. Google head of responsible innovation says Elizabeth Warren is misguided on breaking up Google. The Google executive says don't break us up. Smaller companies don't have the resources to prevent next Trump situation. Insider says PragerU and David Rubin content suppressed, targeted as right-wing. Linked documents highlight machine learning fairness and Google's practices to make search results fair and equitable. Documents appear to show editorial policies that determine how Google publishes news. Insider, Google violates letter of the law and spirit of the law on Section 230. New York City, Project Veritas has released a new report on Google, which includes undercover video of a senior Google executive, leaked documents, and testimony from a Google insider. The report appears to show Google's plans to affect the outcome of the 2020 elections and prevent the next Trump situation, which sounds like election interference to me. Anyways, the report includes undercover footage of longtime Google employee and head of responsible innovation Jen Ganai saying, Elizabeth Warren is saying we should break up Google. And, I love her, but she's very misguided. That will not make it better, it will make it worse, because all these smaller companies who don't have the same resources that we do will be charged with preventing the next Trump situation. It's like a small company cannot do that. And James O'Keefe, who is the Project Veritas founder, said, this is the third tech insider who has bravely stepped forward to expose the secrets of Silicon Valley. These new documents, supported by undercover video, raise questions of Google's neutrality and the role they see themselves fulfilling in the 2020 elections. Jen Ganai is the head of responsible innovation for Google. A sector that monitors and evaluates the responsible implementation of artificial intelligence technologies. In the video, Ganai says Google has been working diligently to prevent the results of the 2016 election from repeating in 2020, next year. We all got screwed over in 2016. Again, it wasn't just us, it was the people that got screwed over. The news media got screwed over, everyone got screwed over. So we're rapidly been what's happened there and how do we prevent it from happening again? Gosh, whatever. We've also been training our algorithms, if 2016 happened again, we would would the outcome be different? Jeez, your speech is so weird, lady. Anyway, Google. Artificial intelligence is for a fair and equitable state. According to the insider, machine learning fairness is one of the many tools Google uses to promote a political agenda. Documents leaked by a Google informant elaborate on machine learning fairness and the algorithmic unfairness that AI product intervention aims to solve. So algorithmic unfairness means unjust or prejudicial treatment of people that is related to sensitive characteristics such as race, income, sexual orientation, or gender through algorithmic systems or algorithmically aided decision making. If a representation is factually accurate, can it still be algorithmic unfairness? Yes. For example, imagine that a Google image query for CEOs shows predominantly men. Even if it were a factually accurate representation of the world, it would be algorithmic unfairness because it would reinforce a stereotype about the role of women in leadership positions. However, factual accuracy may affect product policy's position on whether or how it should be addressed. In some cases, it may be appropriate to take no action if the system accurately affects current reality, while in other cases, it might be or may be desirable to consider how we might help society reach a more fair and equitable state. Whether via either product intervention or broader corporate social responsibility efforts. If a system's behavior is not intended, can it still be algorithmic unfairness? Yes. If the behavior is unfair, it meets the definition regardless of the root cause. The insider showed Google's search examples that shows machine learning fairness in action, which I will show you in just a little bit. The reason we launched our AI principles is because people were not putting that line in the sand, that they were not saying what's fair and what's equitable, so we're like, well, we are a big company, we're going to say it, and shut other people down, said Jen Ganai, head of responsible innovation in Google. The Google insider explained the impact of AI and machine learning fairness. We're going to redefine a reality based on what they think is fair and based upon what they want, and is part of their agenda, determining credible news and an editorial agenda. Additional leaked documents detail how Google defines and prioritizes content from different publishers and how its products feature that content. One document called the Fake News Letter explains Google's goal to have a single point of truth across their products. Another document received by Project Veritas explains the news ecosystem, which mentions editorial guidelines that appear to be determined and administered internally by Google. These guidelines control how content is distributed and displayed on their site. And everything here is in the video, which hopefully you can get to, which I'll bring up in a little bit later. The leaked documents appear to show that Google makes news decisions about what news they promote and distribute on their site. Comments made by Ganai raise similar questions. In a conversation with Veritas journalists, Ganai explains that conservative sources and credible sources don't always coincide according to Google's editorial practices. We have gotten accusations around fairness is that we're unfair to conservatives because we're choosing what we find as credible news sources, and those sources don't necessarily overlap with conservative sources. The insider shed additional light on how YouTube demotes content from influencers like Dave Rubin and Tim Pool. What YouTube did is they changed the results of the recommendation engine. And so what the recommendation engine it tries to say, well, if you're like A, then you're probably going to like B. So content that is similar to Dave Rubin or Tim Pool, instead of listing Dave Rubin or Tim Pool as people that you might like, what they're doing is that they're trying to suggest different news outlets, for example, like CNN or MSNBC, or these left-leaning political outlets. They are literally trying to change your opinion with different videos, at least on YouTube. Internal Google document. People like us are programmed. An additional document Project Veritas obtained, titled Fair is Not the Default, says people like us are programmed after the results of machine learning fairness. The document describes how unconscious bias and algorithms interact, which you can take a look right now and hopefully see this on projectveritas.com for yourself if you want to. Veritas is the only way, said the insider. The reason why I came to Project Veritas is that you're the only one I trust to be able to be a real investigative journalist. Investigative journalist is a dead career option, but somehow you've been able to make it work. And because of that, I came to Project Veritas because I knew that this was the only way that this story would be able to get out to the public. I mean, this is a behemoth. This is a Goliath. And they're obviously referring to Google. I am but a David trying to say that the emperor has no clothes. And being a little ant, I can be crushed, and I'm aware of that. But this is something that is bigger than me. This is something that needs to be said to the American public. Project Veritas continues to continue investigating abuses in big tech companies and encourages more Silicon Valley insiders to share their stories through their Be Brave campaign. As of publishing, Google did not respond to Project Veritas's request for comment. Additional leaked Google documents can be viewed here, which you can come to Project Veritas through, hopefully, my links in the description. And that was the end of this article. So, the video, which I'm not going to show right now, put up by Project Veritas is very, very revealing about what Google wants and how it is trying to interfere with both the 2020 presidential election as well as trying to socially engineer society so that the populace conforms to Google's ideology. This is literally Big Brother. This is 1984 in action. Anything deemed unfair will get the boot. Google is literally trying to get rid of anything that Google does not approve of, which includes centrists and people who don't like necessarily Google's narrative. Like this Project Veritas has brought up, Google targets people like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, or organizations like PragerU, which is a conservative group on YouTube at the moment, and tries to minimize people's access to centrist or right-wing ideas. So, Google no longer believes in free speech. They want equitable speech, which means taking away stuff from other people or censoring other people to promote a certain image. But, honestly, this isn't really surprising. We have known about this for a while. And, honestly, I had the video here on screen. I watched all 25 minutes of it. Very, very revealing, which is the same video here. But at the time of this recording, apparently, you cannot access this video anymore. YouTube has already taken it down within 1 or 2 hours. Or actually, I guess it was more like 6 to 8 hours. But regardless, this video is no longer on YouTube, which I watched, which I can show, but whatever. We've known this for a while, though, I mean, to be honest, but at this point, we have literal definitive proof that big tech corporations, at least with Google, and most likely Facebook as well, and others, are absolutely censoring what they don't like. Google has to be broken up into smaller companies. I mean, in this video that I'm not going to show you, but even on this page here, Jen Ganai, the head of responsible innovation at Google, even states that if it were broken up, and if Google was to be broken up, then smaller companies would not have the resources to censor information. Google has too much power. And it's just ridiculous. Now, in the video, they said, or they even showed us, how Google is interfering with what you look up. And I'm going to do that right now. So we have Google right here. Pretty standard page, just google.com. So, what they did in the video was type in like men can, and it will show you what it could autofill with. So men can have babies, get pregnant, have periods, have babies now, cook. Men can think about nothing, or men think about nothing. This might give you a certain impression on how you should view men. Men can? How about men are? Maybe, what do they have? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Men are like waffles. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus game. Like Bluetooth, visuals, like quotes, are babies. Waffles, like rubber bands, are hunters. Let's type in women. This is pretty much exactly what they did in the video as well. Women are beautiful. They are from Venus. They're some kind of magic. Funny, get over it, are sacred. Jesus. Women are not rehabilitation centers. That's funny. Women are like cats meme, are wonderful effect. It's almost as if they're trying to promote women in a good light. How about women can? Women can vote. Women can do it. Women can do anything. Women can be drafted and, wow, that's news, women can fly. It's almost as if the search results are being biased to give you an impression on what they want you to know or think. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Regardless, though, I do commend Project Veritas for doing what they're doing, because they're exposing corruption at Google. I commend them, but, as I was coming up with this video, you can't access this. Look, this is a different browser, and right now, I use DuckDuckGo, which I totally recommend as a search engine instead of Google. Please use DuckDuckGo. It's a much better search browser, at least in terms of not giving Google money. But if I want to go to Project Veritas at the time of this recording, let's see if we can actually go there. You can't go there. Project Veritas, the website is down. And I'll be honest with you, I came to this website, right now it's 5:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you cannot access Project Veritas after this blew up today. This is honestly a little alarming that this whistleblowing website has been shut down, at least at 5:11 Eastern Standard Time. This isn't good. Like I said, though, I recommend don't use Google at all. Now, unfortunately, the Google search engine is embedded into so many different devices now, and it's more than just a search engine. It's a massive system of information and how we do stuff every single day. Like within our phones. My phone, it has Google all over it. The Google Maps, YouTube. I mean, they don't have Google Plus anymore, but anything Google is within your phones. It's really terrible that Google has been so entrenched in our daily lives. Like I said, though, use DuckDuckGo for a search engine. I would also recommend for a browser, this I'm using right now is the Tor browser, the Onion Router browser, because I think it's fairly good. It has its uses, and that's pretty much it about Tor. But, the story of Google taking over everything is very alarming. It's taking over parts of our lives, information that we otherwise might not know. Veritas. I'm going to try it one more time, looking up Project Veritas on Tor browser. Let's go back to Tor. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, this is terrible. You just can't, there it goes again. We can't access Project Veritas at 5:13 Eastern Standard Time p.m. But, we just can't trust big corporations. And citizens, we can't really do anything about this. It's really up to the government to break up Google, which the government's not going to break up Google. But honestly, this all just confirms that the fight ahead of us for either freedom and trying to make sure that America stays alive, at least culturally and demographically, it's going to be so big that this world will be completely changed. The fight ahead of us with big tech, the government, and other things like that is just enormous. But, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else we can do at the moment. But regardless, with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you have a great day.